Welcome to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Both Sides Now. I'm Dr. Shirley.
And I am spiritual medium Kelly White. And hi, John.
Hello.
And
Can you believe it's Monday already?
I love it, John. I know. The weekend can go by really slow at times and then just fly by.
Well, this is my reminder to our audience because I don't think they know what day it is. So it's like no one knows
it's
what
true.
day it is anymore, right?
It is. I know.
It's very true.
Yeah.
You know what I did yesterday? I
What
decided
did you
I
do,
couldn't.
Kel?
I'm going to tell you, I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. So I have a great niece. Her name is Peggy, and I love her so much. So I said,
She's lovely.
she's great. I said, Peggy, after church, they do this church here that's really wild. You sit in the parking lot in your car, and they do it on Facebook, and so you could watch it or listen to it on Facebook. It was kind of cool, actually. And
Really?
she's the head of the whole thing with the music and everything. She's brilliant. So I just loved it. I said, just come by and you stay way over there, and I'll bring you a cocktail way over there. So we had a pretend brunch, if you will. I put it at the other end of the farm, and I was at the other end of the farm and kind of made air toast. And then I had the best day because it made me feel normal just for, a good hour. It made me feel normal
Yeah.
again.
You have to change things up. I went walking with a friend. We wore masks. We walked 6 feet in between each other, and we were just walking like that, parallel 6 feet away. Yeah.
Oh, honey, isn't it something? It's just something.
I know.
Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Roseanne, my sister-in-law, Shirley.
Hi, Roseanne.
I love you,
Love
Roseanne.
her.
We
Love
love
her
Roseanne.
cookies.
Oh
Love
my God.
her.
Best fried donuts ever.
Oh my God.
Ever. Best baker, best
Amazing.
cook. She's
Amazing.
and I just miss her so much. And again, these are people that live, relatively, 20 minutes from my farm, but I can't see them. So Don brought Roseanne some soup tonight that I had made, but
Oh, that's
I just
nice.
miss her a lot. So, and
Yeah.
she's a big fan of our show. And,
Yeah.
everybody out there is feeling this. Everybody's out there.
I know. Shout out to everyone in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and Shirley did the show. You just did the show.
That's right. Yeah, that was
The
fun.
Jen Weigel show. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Also, I have to tell you something. I actually bought this at Pick and Save it's L'Oreal Magic Root Cover Up. Now, let me tell you why I bought it. Obviously, I
nice.
needed to use it desperately.
Mm.
I bought it because it was aqua. I love the color aqua,
Mhm.
and it had yellow, and it said the word magic in it. So I thought, I'll try it, And
Well,
there's, other than the aqua and the yellow, there's no magic in it, I have to say.
It seems to match your hair perfectly, though, so that's
no.
magic.
No.
Well, I'm not seeing any roots.
Oh, Shirley, this is such a time. Such a time.
I know.
My goodness. And you've got
I know.
Sydney's doing your hair?
You see this because Sydney's doing my hair. Thank God that I have Sydney, who, they learn everything on YouTube. She's been doing her own hair for years, and she's 25. And I approached her yesterday because I couldn't handle my hair anymore. And I go, Sidnita, like I call her, will you do something to my hair? And this is what she came up with. I said, oh my God, you're hired. You're my new hair girl.
I don't know how lucky you are.
There we go.
I'm
Yeah.
so just envious. If I said, Don, would you do my hair? He'd think I was friggin' nuts.
I can see the look on his face. I can see. And of course, I have to show the shirt that I'm wearing today because today's Casual Monday, and I had to wear this shirt. So I'm going to put it right there. And sometimes you just have to listen. You just have to be alone and listen to Barry.
Oh, Cheryl.
You just have to. And I've been doing it all day today.
Has it been
Listening to
fabulous?
Barry. Oh my God. Well, I had to put makeup on because I've been crying and every time they cancel a concert that I've already signed up to go to because they're postponing it, I shed a little tear. But, Barry's always my go-to guy.
Oh, gosh. Well, let's get into the astrological.
Tell us what the planets are doing. Yes. Tell us what's in store because this is,
Shirley,
let's
just start with
this.
this.
Too long.
Oh, honey. Bear with us here.
I know.
So, we have a new moon on April 22nd, and it's in Taurus. So normal you would say, oh, this new moon in Taurus, it's a great time to plant a garden. By the way, do it, even though mine froze and I so didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, it would be time to plant a new garden. A new moon in Taurus normally means family and lovely and beauty and all of these things. Okay. So always and we only have a new moon in Taurus, I think it's just once this year. So it's a really, normally it'd be a big deal. But this one is conjoined, meaning it's right next to Uranus. And that is very, very challenging. And that actually makes it very, very difficult. So we've got a difficult situation that causes a lot of suffering. Okay. But if that were just it, that's not just it. So all the planets have been direct right now, right? But you know how you've heard us talk about planets going retrograde? Well, we're about to begin the series of planets going retrograde. And the first one to go retrograde on the 25th, actually, the 25th of April, so just in a few days. And that is going to be Pluto. Oh, before I even let me just say something about this. This new moon, it can be, this one will be a little more aggressive and impulsive. And the best way to avoid tragedy during this new moon phase, and I meant to say this, is you really want to protect yourself from the coronavirus because you don't want to take any risks, not with this new moon and not with this Pluto retrograde. You don't want to take any risks. This is not a week to open anything. It's not a week to take any risks at all. And I probably sound like a broken record with this, but it's just the way it is going to be for some period of time. So this Pluto retrograde begins on April 25th, and it's in Capricorn, and it ends October 4th, also in Capricorn. So this is a long period of time. So the major influence on Pluto retrograde right now, the major influence in it is Jupiter. And Jupiter makes everything expansive. So it's going to increase the fear, if you will, of death actually from coronavirus. And it means exponential growth with virus. And it's going to test our faith. It's going to test our generosity. It's going to test our kindness. And it's all about spiritual evolution. And it's unlike chaos that normally comes when planets go retrograde, this one is going to make us go inward. So Pluto, it has the energy of transformation, and it's in mythology, it's the god of the underworld. So it really means to go inside. It's the phoenix energy, like the phoenix rising, only the phoenix rising is shedding all its stuff. And so this Pluto retrograde is going to get us more in touch with our shadow sides and how to let go of our shadow sides and how to move through to begin again to ultimately to be reborn. And that's what this is all about, this period of time. How'd you like that?
Seems like this is, I mean, it really seems like this is what it is. Not minimizing, of course, anyone who is suffering through the death of a loved one, given, the virus and what's been going on, but it really seems like a time of rebirth. I mean, nature said stop.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
It said stop. Yeah. And that means for everybody to go inward, to let go of anything that has held you back, as far, particularly if you look at your shadow side, if you look at your neurosis or, anything that's held you back.
Describe again for our listeners and for me too, because I have, for some reason, I can't keep the concept of shadow side. How would you define shadow side?
Something that you have, I often will say this to somebody. Your shadow side is something that is like, I can give examples. Like if you're having an affair, probably a shadow. No, it is a shadow side. If you are alcohol, too much alcohol, shadow side. Anything that you're doing that's gambling is a shadow side.
So anything that you're doing that works against you, it's time to take a look at it because always there's a reason underneath and a valid reason underneath.
Always.
Either something you don't want to feel because it's too painful. I mean, there's always a valid reason underneath what we do, particularly the things that we do that work against us.
Yeah. And just remember this. We're all human, having human experience here. And so, of course, everybody's got a shadow. Everybody has a shadow. And if you could release a lot of it and just be honest with yourself, and it's really actually looking at yourself in an honest way. You don't really need a therapist to do that. You could just sit down and go, oh my God.
You know what I've been doing? just really taking this kind of time to reflect seriously. And I'm going to have John. Can you please put up the link? Um, Peter Levine, Dr. Peter Levine, who created somatic experiencing, came up with this exercise that I use a lot with my clients and I use with myself, but I've been doing it every morning and every evening. And it's very, very simple. It's taking an in breath, and I think I've talked about it before as a tool, to help regulate our nervous system. You take a deep breath, and on your out breath, you make the sound of, like, when you hear the ships coming in from the dock, that ooh, that really low sound. It could be the ohm sound, and it's vibrating from your diaphragm. And so it relaxes all of your, especially with people with gastrointestinal issues, it relaxes diaphragm and your intestines. And you do it 3 times. You make that noise all the way out, and then you wait until your body organically takes another breath, and you do it 3 times, and then you wait and kind of notice what happens. And most of the time you'll notice a slight vibration down your arms, down your legs, and it releases, it allows the energy, the stuck energy in the nervous system to release, or the anxious nervous energy to release. And it really, really works. And so he's come out with a video to kind of show people, and you can do it with him. Then he incorporates the jaw, and then he incorporates, a boundary exercise. It's wonderful.
Fabulous.
It takes no more than 5 minutes. So I'll find it while we're talking, and I'll give it, John, to you so you can post that link. It's on Vimeo.
Fabulous. So Shirley, are you ready to announce our fabulous guest?
Announce our wonderful guest. His name is Jack Olmeda, habla español. Is one of the most likable guys, and yes, he is, because I had a reading from him the other day, and he is very unbelievably likable that you could ever meet. He's also very gifted intuitive who has a special talent for reading and identifying medical issues. Jack is never advertised. All of his steady stream of local clients come to him through word of mouth. In addition to doing readings, Jack has often had a day job as a banker, an accountant, which that blows my brain. Such a left brain thing with such a creative mind. And more recently as a production scheduler at a major TV network in New York City. Jack often uses his tarot cards, but his readings are based on what he sees, not the literal meaning of the cards. So welcome, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
So
Hi
happy to have you
there.
here.
Okay.
Oh, Jack, where
Look
are
at that
you?
face.
I know. Where are you?
Okay, right now I'm living in Florida. I relocated
Florida.
here about 2 years ago. I'm retired from my regular 9 to 5 job, which was major TV station. And I'm actually working part-time in Casadega. I don't know if you ever heard of Casadega. It's a spiritual town in Florida.
No.
Yes, yes. It's
Florida?
in Florida, yeah, in Casadega, Florida. And there's also one in Lilydale up in New
Oh,
York.
of course,
It-
I
it-
definitely know
okay,
Lilydale.
it's a sister city to Lilydale.
Oh my gosh, do you do readings there?
I do readings there, yeah. I do mediumship work. I do medical intuitive work, and I've been working there since I retired. So it's going to be 2 years soon.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
how did you become a medical intuitive?
Well,
And I should say, Jack and I are both in Marianne's book, The Gift Within.
Yes.
mhm. Yes, Marian Boa, and I know her for many, many years. And she had did an event in one of the restaurants in New York, and I was invited to read there, and I became friends with Marianne. She's a very gifted person, very gifted person.
I agree.
So I started off at a young age. I was doing trans mediumship, which I wasn't too happy doing because after that, after
What
the
is that
session,
for those of us
actually
who don't know?
trans mediumship is when you actually have the spirit enter your body, and
Wow.
and you actually blank out. It's weird because you feel like you're in a little box in the back of your head, and and the spirit talks. And sometimes the voice changes and everything. But when I was done with that, I felt unclean. I didn't feel happy about it. So I said, Spirit, if you want me to continue this work, I need to do something completely different. I do not want to do trans mediumship.
How did that
And
first show up that you did it? I mean, what was the first time that happened, that a spirit kind of took over your body?
I had gone to a center. I don't know. They're called Mesa Blanca. okay, which is spiritualism, okay, or Santeria,
Oh,
okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay, and they told me that I was very psychic. I was always interested in the occult and everything, you know. Uh, so I said, okay, you know, and they told me that just meditate, meditate, concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. And while you're doing that, you actually open up the back of your neck, the back of your head, the cerebral, and the spirit actually enters through there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I would go with the main medium. There was a medium. And he would bring me to houses, and we would clean the houses. And if somebody's being possessed, I was there. I accepted the spirit in my body, so I could be released and go back to where I supposed to go.
Oh.
It wasn't
Ooh.
really good. I didn't know any. I didn't know any better. I was young. I was about 12, 13 years old, so I didn't know
You
any
were
better.
that young doing that, and your
Oh.
Oh,
mom let you do it?
yep, yep. Well, I have it in both sides of my family, my father's side and my mother's side.
Wow.
So
That would
yeah,
be tough. Were you ever scared that the spirit was going to stay in you?
no, I never
Okay,
had
good.
fear. I never had
Oh,
fear. You know,
good, good.
to me, that's one of the things that I always tell people: don't have fear. If you're developing, accept it. Accept it.
Yeah.
I feel that we all have the ability. It's only certain people that want to pursue it. Okay, but we all have
Yeah.
the ability to open up that door. And
Wow.
Marianne also explains that in her book too. So it's very good.
Yeah.
So then I decided, okay, I got to do something different, and all of a sudden I found a deck of regular cards, 52 cards, and I started to read them. I was telling people this, and then I said, and I walk away and says, how the hell did I know that? You know, and so and then I started to read without the cards, and that's how it went from there. I was always interested in helping people with their health. So I also was
Wow.
thinking maybe I should become a doctor, but there was financially I couldn't do it. I didn't feel I could do it. So I really wanted to heal. So when was reading to people, I would feel pains in certain parts of my body, and I would say to them, "Are you having pains in this area there?" And they always say yes. And then I said, "Well, you got to be careful. You got to go see a doctor, check it out, and everything, you know." And that's how, and then that's where I started from. And then I'm reading professionally for 47 years.
Wow. It's a
47
long
years.
time,
Yeah.
Jack. Long time to
hmm
do readings. Wow. Do, and you also had a health scare yourself.
Yes, at one time when well, I was, interested in, dating and all that stuff. And I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And so what happened was I had a total collapse of a lung, and I was in the hospital, and the doctors couldn't figure out why that happened. All right. So I remember going to the hospital from work, and they told me, we think you might have pneumonia. You need to go into the hospital. I said, okay, fine. So I went to the hospital, and I'm talking to my boss on the phone, and I'm telling him, he says, wow, look, the doctor who's taking care of me, the nurse, I see them running around the halls. They must be looking for somebody. Then all of a sudden I hear, Mr. Olmeda, there you are. I said, oh, wow, wow, wow. I got weak at the knees. I said, why are you looking for me? He says, you have a total collapse of the lung. We don't know how you're walking.
Wow.
And I
Oh
said,
my.
okay, fine. And they had to put it to my chest. I fought it to the very end because you can't have anesthesia. You
Oof.
have to be awake because the other lung could collapse.
Oh my.
So yeah, it was kind of spooky, kind of spooky. So eventually, when I was in the hospital, I had a high fever and everything like that. I saw this nurse that came in to take care of me, but she had a crown in her head. And I said, what kind of nurse are you? She says, you need to continue doing your work. So I
Oh, you're
continued. And
kidding.
yeah, I
Wow.
continued. Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
Wow.
she able to just pick up on it? Was she?
No,
She was a
Shirley,
spirit.
she was
She
a
was a
spirit.
spirit.
Oh, she
She
was.
had a
Yeah.
crown on her head.
Yes,
Okay.
she
See,
was a
that was my
spirit.
literal
That's
left brain going, "Oh, she's a nurse."
that's one of the funniest things I have ever witnessed with you, Shirley. I thought you were on the same page.
That's when
Yeah,
the left brain embarrasses you. Okay,
exactly.
that was
So
hilarious.
yeah.
Okay, so she was a spirit that said that to you.
Did
Yeah.
your
Wow.
gifts kick in then, Jack?
That's when they went in full force.
Yeah.
And then I decided, yeah, I'm going to do this. Now, then
Wow.
I got married, and I felt I couldn't live on the salary of being a medium. So I took a full-time job and I did that on the side.
Mm.
Wow.
My readings on the side.
In your family, did it run in your family too? Your mother and your father, you said?
On both sides,
On
yes.
both sides. Yeah, that's often
Not
how the case is.
right. My father always used to tell me not to do this. This is bad for your head. Don't do this. Uh, until one day, and he told me he didn't believe in it. But I knew my father was psychic because certain things that he would say to me, I said, "How are you getting that information?" So one day he said to me, "Jack, I would like you to give me a reading," and I said, "Oh, very interesting." So I gave him a reading. He was
Oh,
very, very happy with it. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
wow. Wow. And your
Yeah.
mom too.
hmm And my mom also. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make a difference when you have family members or parents that support the work. It does make a
Right.
Absolutely.
difference,
hmm Right.
Absolutely.
And I was telling you, Jack, that when I'm not a medical medium, so everybody should understand that mediums, you know, they tend to specialize in certain things. So I don't know anything about murder. That's not my thing. I'm also not a medical medium, but I've had a couple of incidents where I knew immediately that somebody was going to have a problem, where I said to somebody, please, please go to the doctor. Please, I think you have a heart situation. He said, Kelly, I don't have a situation like that. I work out, da 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 da. And he gave me all this grief. Literally 3 days later, he died of a heart attack. And
Wow.
then I also had a situation recently where I begged the guy not to go on a cruise, and he did, and he died of coronavirus. And so
Wow.
I say
Yeah.
this because I'm not a medical medium, but you really fit that category.
Right. There's several people. I mean, I've been, like I said, I've been reading for so many years. But certain people that I would remember certain situations, like this woman I had given reading to, and while I was reading her, I picked up a problem with one of her ovaries. And she said, "Oh no, I just had a doctor's visit. Everything's good." He says, "I'm okay to go." And I said, "Okay, fine." But when I hung up the phone, all of a sudden I saw a coffin in front of me. And I said, "Wait a second, something's not right." And the first thing that comes to my mind, I had children at the time, was, are my kids safe? You worry
Of
about your kids
course.
always,
Yeah.
Yeah.
are my
Yeah.
kids safe? And then I kept picking up, no, it's something to do with this woman that I just read. So I called her up, and her name was, well, I'll say Lucy, but that wasn't her real name. But I said, "You need to go see a doctor. I want you to get your ovaries checked." She said, "Jack, everything's okay.
Mhm.
Now you're scaring me." I said, "No, I'm not mean to scare you, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I usually don't talk about that, but I saw a coffin after I got off the phone with you." And so
Mm.
she said, "Okay, no problem. I'm going to go get checked." So she went
Mm.
to the doctor, and she fought with the doctor because he said, "There's nothing wrong with you. Everything's okay. It's all in your head." So she asked for, I think it's called an exploratory operation. They actually go into the body to find out that there's a problem. They found that she had ovarian cancer, and it was the beginning of ovarian cancer. And they gave her a complete hysterectomy and everything like that. And the doctor's like, "How did you know? You shouldn't be feeling anything." And she told him, says, "My psychic
Wow.
told me." He said, "You're what?"
Well,
My psychic.
Right. That always
but
goes over real
You're
big.
what?
but how
Right.
wonderful that she
Yeah.
believed you and
Right.
insisted.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because the medical field unfortunately would have maybe judged her or said no, and insisting is so
Right.
important. We have calls waiting that would love to
Okay.
speak with you. So let's move on to that.
All right, ladies
All right.
and Jack, let's move on to our calls. We've got several waiting, and let's go to our first one. It looks like the first caller is calling from Indiana. This is area code
Mm.
812. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Yes, hi, my name is Pam, and I'm calling from Newburgh, Indiana.
Hey, Pam.
Pam,
Hi, Pam.
what question do you
Hi.
have?
Well, I was just wondering if Jack can actually tell. I mean, I just lost my brother last Wednesday,
Sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
and he had been having some issues, but he was getting better. We had him in the house for 6 weeks. We wouldn't let him leave the house. We were leaving groceries on his front porch because we knew he had problems. But then he ended up dying in his sleep of an aneurysm.
Wow.
Okay. So, first
And
of all, I'm picking up that he had a problem prior to this. there was another problem dealing with
Yes.
his health
Yes.
because I'm getting a
He had,
combination. I'm getting like a combination of problems. So it wasn't just the aneurysm. The aneurysm, well, okay, he's with a woman. There's a woman in your family that's with
yeah,
him. She took him. She took him. Okay. He is at
yeah.
rest. He is at rest. All right. He's telling me to tell you that he's sorry. Not too sure why he's asking for forgiveness, but he's saying, I'm sorry to you. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm not too sure what that's all about, and he's not going into detail, but he was just saying that he's sorry. Okay. Now, who was there a young man? Did he leave a son, or was he close to a young male that you know of?
He had daughters. Not a young male right offhand that, I mean, I've got grandsons and stuff that he wanted to try to he missed seeing them because
Okay.
they're only 4, and he said they'll never know who I am if I do pass, and I want to.
Okay, that could be what I'm
Um,
picking up because I
but
see him. I see him that he wants to protect one particular male. All right, so this could be his nephew.
okay,
Okay, it could be his nephew. All right, but he is
okay,
at rest. He is at rest.
that's great to hear. Very much. That is definitely a relief. I mean,
Mhm.
I knew he was, honestly, but it was just so, that it was so sudden and unexpected to us, even though we knew how bad his health was.
Mhm.
Because he did have COPD and some other things. He's been in and out of the hospital, but he was finally starting to do better, breathing better, getting up and moving around more, and so I think we were just so shocked because of that.
Right, right. Yeah, but you know what? He went the best way. He went the best way because
Oh,
COPD is
yes,
very,
that's
very
exactly
painful.
how he wanted to go, quick.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Pam, for calling.
Thank you very much. You'll have
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Pam. You're welcome.
Thank you.
One thing I've noticed too is that the people that are leaving now, the vibration is going to be very intense for the next couple of years. And so if they're leaving now suddenly, it's not a surprise. I don't think they could deal with this energy that's going to be very intense for the next couple of years.
Plus, I don't think they want to put their family through all of this
Exactly.
with
I agree
everything
with
going
that.
on. I mean, the fact that you can't even have visitors in the hospital anymore. I mean, it's just really
I know.
intense. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an aunt that passed away on Easter Sunday, and then her daughter died 2 days later.
Oh
And
my.
the daughter's brother, he couldn't. That happened in New York, and he lives down here in Florida. He
Wow.
couldn't even go see her. They said they weren't going to allow him to go see her.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's sad.
Such a
It's very
time.
sad. Yeah.
Really hard. And also, everybody needs to remember when somebody passes, even if they're alone, they're never alone. A call goes out in the universe 6 to 8 weeks in advance, so they will never be alone. You may not be able to be physically present with them, but somebody, a soul, is there with them.
Right. Exactly. I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, we're moving on to Chattanooga, Tennessee, I believe. Area code
Chattanooga.
423. Can we have your name, please? And please mute your listening device and listen through just your phone so that we don't get any feedback. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear the feedback or is
Nope,
it
it's all better
already?
now. I think it's, well,
Okay,
yeah, pretty much
great.
better. Well, no,
Okay,
actually, we're
I
hearing
had-
it again. So let me do this.
I'm-
Go. It's okay.
Let me try to be still. Maybe if I'm still, I had walked away. So
Okay, let's try that.
I'm
Yeah,
listening on my phone on
Yeah, just through your phone.
and
Uh-huh.
on my
Okay.
and on my iPad through Facebook. So
Yeah, just pause
Yep, my
Facebook
name
and
is-
listen through your telephone.
okay, all right. I'm on my phone only, I think, right now.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much for letting us on and for doing this. I'm just amazed at this. It's great. And to have the ability to help somebody medically, I feel a little bit of that myself, but it's a little scary thing. So I really do push it away. I think my question would be a little bit more of a personal nature and not really medical. So I hope is that okay to ask?
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
And could we
Okay.
get your name, please?
This
I don't think
past,
we got it at the beginning. I'm sorry.
it's Shell, Shel.
Great, Shell. Thank you.
Okay. And what I was going to ask is last year I had kind of gone through a breakup after 5 years. And it was stunning because on the 5th year anniversary, he told me we were together and would be forever. And we sat and planned a wedding ceremony. And then all of a sudden, he just couldn't give me what I wanted. And nothing had changed. And so I've been devastated for the past year. And it really has affected me spiritually. And I know that it's getting to me a little bit physically because it's just a constant, it never leaves my mind. And I was wondering if he had any advice or intuition or answers to that, because I never really got an answer as to what happened, or if he found someone else or just moved on. Like he just completely disappeared after 5 years, 5.5 years.
Okay, Shell, let me tell you, first of all, you will hear from him again. Do not rekindle this relationship. I do not feel that he was 100% sincere. Now, I am picking up another woman with light hair. Now, I don't know if this is somebody he was involved prior to you or if it's somebody that he's involved with now. But whatever it is, his mind is more towards that relationship. Now, I'm going to tell you a little something to do, and it really works. It helps with the letting go of karma. Write his name on a piece of paper and how you feel about that relationship and what he did to you, and then burn it. This way, it's not witchcraft or anything like that. You're just letting go of that emotion so your heart could be open for somebody new to come in, which I do see in the middle of the summer, somebody that you knew in the past coming back, but it's not him.
Shell, may I ask you something, honey? What's your birth date?
It's February 16th. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, so you're
I just
also.
realized,
Let me just say this too,
sorry,
honey.
go
You
ahead.
came in to experience some endings in your life. You actually came in to have experience of endings. So this would have been an ending. The thing that's really important is actually what Jack is saying is that when to release this would probably be the best thing ever, because something amazing will happen, but you did come in to experience this part of an ending. And I will tell you that he's right. You will meet somebody new coming up in the future. There's no doubt about it, because you didn't actually incarnate to be alone. But that one had to end. That one had to end. So I just want you to know that that was just a karmic event. Okay? And then if you can let it go during this period that we're in of shedding, you're going to be so free. You're not going to believe it. This is you're going to be the phoenix rising, honey.
It's so painful, and that's what I felt like when we got together. I had suffered a lot of loss and hard time, and then when we met, it was the most amazing thing for us both. We had both gone through a hard time, and he was estranged but not divorced. And
There you
that's
go.
still the situation.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if he's picking up on her or if there is someone else. I don't know, because he is still married but estranged. But they
So
have
then that's your shadow side. When we talked about shadow side, Shell, that's the shadow. That's the shadow. So he's already involved and whatever. This is where you have to go inward and say, "Whoo! I'm glad I dodged that bullet." Think like that.
Yeah, it's so painful. It's something that goes through your mind and your heart like a figure 8 in a constant
Well, and so that's
motion.
where you've got to put it into it, that part of it, because it doesn't have to keep going around. That's a choice that you can actually be free. I want you to remember I'm saying this. As Jack said, write the name, burn it, and then say, "All right, God, I am ready for my next adventure." You'll have another adventure, and you'll get through this heartache. I promise you'll get through heartache. Everybody comes to this planet to have heartache at one point or another. We grow from it. But you'll get it. You'll move ahead. I assure you, you'll move ahead.
I agree too. I really feel that whoever's coming in is going to be a lot better for you. Okay.
Totally. All right.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your
All
work.
right. Thanks
Yeah.
for calling,
Take care.
Cheryl.
Thank you
Take
for
care.
calling. And,
Yeah.
those
Heartache is
matters.
such a
Oh my
drag.
gosh, they're
Yeah.
Heartache
Right.
is a
so
drag.
painful.
Mhm.
So painful.
So
Oh,
painful. Yeah.
so painful.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing that Jack mentioned was that he didn't feel that he was being truthful from the beginning either.
Yeah.
So she could have been buying into a lot of stories and not really the reality
Right.
of the situation,
I
unfortunately.
know.
And
And
that's
that's
what makes it
why
even harder
it is. And that's why
because then
it's
you
really
idealize.
important. It's
Mhm.
really important to go inward now.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
what did you buy into? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well,
There
let's
was
move
still
on
that
to our
that
next.
tie too with the other
Yeah.
person.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Cutting cords, the energetic
Exactly.
cords.
Right.
Mhm. That's what you're saying about burning it and dissolving that cord. All right, so we're moving on to Stuart, Florida, I think, area code 772. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Hey, it's Shar Donkey. I'm calling from Stuart, Florida.
Hey, Shar.
Hi.
Hi, Shar.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Making the best of it. How are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. So I was just calling, really fascinated with this subject, and I was just wondering if Jack had any insight as for my health, just a general question.
Alrighty. I'm getting a weakness with a leg. I'm not too sure if this is a hip, the knee, or the ankle. All right, and I'm getting more the right side of the body. Now I'm not too sure. Have you ever fell on the floor with that leg or tripped or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a constant thing from years ago that I twisted my ankle,
Okay.
and it acts up on me periodically, usually when it rains or, if I'm on my feet for too long.
Mm-hmm. All right. There is something that I feel that you could will help that. Something to do with copper. I don't know why I keep on getting copper. So I think they have socks or something like that, compressed socks that has copper in it, and that will give it more
Yes,
strength.
I have bought those before. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I think I have some here still.
Okay. Use them.
Okay.
Now, I really feel I want you to be careful in the month of June because I do see you hurting yourself, but I see you falling. So pay attention because that can change. I'm picking up that vibration, but that can change if you do as I say. You use the socks and get some acupuncture. Acupuncture will be very helpful to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Shar.
One more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing. What's happening with your sinuses?
Yeah, no, there's been a thing that it's like I've gone to the orthopedic. They've done like X-rays on my ankle. They're like nothing. They're like we could do an MRI, but we don't know if the insurance will cover it.
Well, to me, it's more. It's just a
Stability, like,
weakness.
long
It's a
time.
weakness, is what I'm getting there. So you can be prone to getting
Yeah.
hurt there. All right. But could I just mention one more thing? Have you had problems with your sinuses just recently?
I'm sorry, what's my what?
With your sinuses?
Yes. Yeah, I've been vomiting a lot with
Post-nasal drip, right. I think maybe acupuncture would be good for that too. You know what? You're also short in vitamin D. You should try to improve taking in some vitamin D.
Yes, I've been doing that the past few days. That was
Okay. Continue it. I feel that's going to be helpful to you.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Shar, you take care. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you guys. Love everything you do.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so we're moving on to New York. New York, I believe this is Cathy. Cathy from New York. Thanks for calling in. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, ladies. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi, Cathy.
How are you?
Kathy, tell Jack your story.
Okay. Hi, Jack.
Hi, how you doing? Don't say that at the airport, though, okay?
I have been vibrating internally, like if you're sitting at a car, if you're sitting in a car at a red light, that idling, that's what I get internally. Upper body mostly. I've had all the tests. I've had MRIs. I've had everything. Nobody knows what it is. Kelly knows. I've been talking to her about it.
She is.
And I was hoping that maybe you could tell me.
Okay, while you were talking, was there something dealing with your upper spine? Have you had a problem there?
I have a problem with my upper back hurts by my neck.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I have like a pinched nerve. They know that, but they said they will not touch me as far as surgery goes or anything like that.
Okay. That I feel is one of the reasons why you're having this. Okay. Acupuncture will be good for you. All right. And I do not advise an operation. I do not advise it. All right.
Yeah, the surgeon said no, not on me.
Yeah, no. But the acupuncture will be good for you. All right.
So is it a pinched nerve in the
I
spine?
feel it's nerve related, but I get it, like the upper back. So it could be like in the neck area, or it could be right below the neck.
Yeah, it's like right smack in the middle of my back. It's like somebody stabbing knives,
Right.
and it races my heart.
Mm,
Makes it hard to breathe.
yeah, yeah. That's all nerve related. I don't feel there's a problem with your
Nerve
heart.
related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can I ask Kelly a question?
Sure.
How do I, with this new moon and everything coming in, how do you protect yourself?
Oh, it's a great question. All right, it's a great question. Well, you want to watch your thoughts. You want
I'm
because no. You want everybody needs to watch their thoughts because it's a time a new moon means to plant new seeds. So you don't want to plant anything that's negative, and yet we're in a very difficult world, right? Very, very difficult.
Yes,
So
I'm in
everybody's got to think positive thoughts. I am safe, I am loved, I am secure, I am healthy, and I will ride this through, and there's an end to this because there eventually is an end to this. It's just this is about going inward now. So it's a great question. Watch the thoughts. Watch your thoughts. Meditate a lot. Pray a lot. Go inward.
I've been meditating. That's what
Good.
I started doing that.
Good. But remember, thoughts are things. So you want to stay positive.
No, what'd you say, Kelly?
I said thoughts are things. So you want to stay positive. So James always says, yeah, he does. He says, healthy am I, holy am I, happy am I. And he says that 3 times.
I try to do that. I'm just sitting here waiting. My husband needs open heart surgery. And
I know,
they
that's a
can't
tough
get it
one.
because of the coronavirus. So I have him who's not always happy.
I know. It's a tough
So
one.
I'm
And
trying
so,
to distance
well, you just do
myself
the
from
best you can. And you do the best you can. That's what you do. You know, but really think as much positive thoughts as you can.
Words have power.
Yeah.
Words have power. Don't ever say, "Oh, this is killing me," because it will.
Right. He is so true. That is so true,
Mhm.
Jack.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now
Right.
that doesn't mean that when you have a negative thought, or some people have these thoughts that come up that could be related to just the fear they're feeling, the fear going into thoughts. So you can sometimes if I have a thought, I'll say, okay, I'm sorry I thought that, and I'll visualize it going away or something like that. So it doesn't mean that just because we have a thought that now we get so scared of having a thought. Sometimes they just come, but we can do something to counter the thought.
Exactly.
If we have a judgmental thought, we can purposely think a positive thought about that or the opposite of that judgment. I think that's a really important thing to do as well.
Thank you. Okay, Jack. So acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
calling in, Kathleen. You take care, okay?
That was great, Jack. Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Yeah. And you know what's wonderful too is you can go on YouTube and look for loving kindness meditation. Usually they're just a few minutes, and it's similar to what James says, happy am I, healthy am I,
Holy am I.
holy am I, and it's very quick, and you say it to yourself, and then you say it to someone that you love. You even say it to someone that you're having issues with, and that one is so powerful. It's very, very quick. It's called loving kindness meditation.
Yeah.
All righty. Jack, we were doing rapid fire calls with you. Are you ready for more? Or you want to take a little break and then come back?
No, let's go straight. Let's do it.
All right. All right, here we go. We have Gina, I believe, from California. Marguerite?
Yes, hello. Yes, this is Marguerite, Gina's mother.
Oh, wonderful. Hello. How can we help you?
Hi. Yes, I'm going to be 65 in about 3 weeks, and I thought of myself as a healthy woman, and about 6 weeks ago, my blood pressure went sky high, and my daughter told me to call the paramedics, and they came over, and it was 200 over 96, and they said you needed to go to the hospital to see if you're okay. I did that. They did tests on the heart and the blood work, and within 4 hours, my blood pressure went down to normal, and they said, you're a healthy woman. Go home, enjoy your life, and you could, of course, go follow up with another doctor. But, I haven't felt the same. And the weirdest thing that happens to me is that I have a pulsating in my head, almost like I could feel my heart beating. It's very unique. I've never had this before in all my years of living. And so I feel a pulsating, and that is very strange. I did go see a chiropractor, a very good one, and he told me my occiput was way off, that my brain wasn't even sitting on something, and he put me back together, and I have felt better, but the pulsating in my head is still there, and it never was there for 64 and a half years. So that's strange to me.
Well, that is your blood pressure. That is your blood pressure.
That is the blood pressure?
That is your blood pressure that causes that, yes. While you're speaking, I was trying to tune in. And you're not diabetic, because I was picking up a problem with your blood.
Okay, you think that I could be diabetic?
I feel that you could be diabetic. Does it run in the family at all?
No. That I went to one specialist, and then once the coronavirus came, she had set me an appointment to get blood work done to see if my thyroid or my cholesterol was high. She never mentioned blood sugar. She never mentioned that. So, and I never got to go do it because the coronavirus hit, and my children said, please, mother, don't go into a place for them to draw blood with sick people, because I'm holistic. So everything I do is kind of natural. I don't do pharmaceuticals, so I do herbs and nutrients and stuff. So I have been walking 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, and I got my blood pressure. The lowest was 117 over 64.
That's still a little high.
Okay.
Oh, that is 117?
Over the 64 is high.
Okay, 64 is high. So what would you like to see it at?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but I think average is 120 over 80.
So 60.
Okay.
120 over 40. 120 over 80? Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
see. Never
64.
mind. So, yeah, I'm not a doctor.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And so anyways, tell me if you have any other suggestions. And I did go see, before the coronavirus, I was seeing an acupuncturist, and he told me, because I was a hospice caregiver for 25 years, and he told me that I have I'm retired now, of like a PTS, a fight or flight. That's what he was telling me, that syndrome. He said my nerves were not in a good place from doing that work for so long.
Oh,
I
I
bet.
could see that. I could see that. But you know what? I'm getting very strong. You need to eat ginger. But,
Thank you. I love
okay,
ginger. I could
okay,
juice with
ginger.
it.
Yeah, juice ginger. See if you can have that every morning. All right, that I feel will
Okay.
help that.
Yeah.
I feel that's going to help it. All right. I'm
Okay.
not
So
really picking up anything major though with your health, to be honest with you. I do feel that there might be a little problem with sugar. You might be borderline, which is borderline is really not the word you're supposed to be using. You either have diabetes or you don't have it. So you might be just a little
yeah.
careful with that. Okay. But I really feel
Okay.
ginger will be very helpful to you.
Okay. And you feel the only thing that I was so scared when my blood pressure went up is because my sweet mother had a stroke at 85, and I took care of her for the last 3 years of her life, and so I was worried about me, that if I could have a stroke. And that's why I walk 3 times a day, because I don't want my blood pressure to ever go up like that ever again.
Right. Right. Well, definitely do the ginger. I feel the ginger is going to help your blood.
Ginger.
Yeah.
And you think just keep walking to
And keep
for
walking.
my
Yeah,
blood
definitely.
pressure?
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very, very much for
No,
your
you're
gift,
welcome.
sharing
Thank
it
you
with
for
me.
calling.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Jack, I wanted to ask you a question because you get about supplements too. I just read, and I don't know if I just read it purposely in preparation for this, but that olive leaf extract really helps with blood pressure.
Yes, it does. It's funny you saying that. I had just read that. I read that recently too. I said, "Oh, how bizarre!" But yeah, olive leaf. Yeah, it has
Okay.
to be from the green olives. I'm only kidding. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right? But I
Yeah.
read that it has also a antiviral component, but that it really there's all the comments when I was looking at the different makers to see the comments. A lot of people were saying that they were actually able to get off their blood pressure medication. That it really, really works with that. So I wanted to
Yeah,
check in with you. Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Mhm.
All right. We're
Wonderful.
almost out of time, but we do have a question coming in from chat because she's not able to call in because of her phone. So let's see if Cece
Mhm.
can get some answers here. She says, I'm wondering about my father's health. He's old and far away from me. If Jack could tell me anything, I use Wi Fi calling for phone, so it would not be a good reception to call. So,
Do you
Cece.
need his name, or what would you
Yeah.
need from
No,
CC?
no, I'm picturing him. It's okay. Whatever I tell you, is she gonna? How does
She'll
that work?
hear it. Yeah, she'll hear it. And then we'll
Okay.
try to get a response from
All
her. It's
right.
gonna be a delay.
I'm
Mhm.
getting his legs. Is he in a wheelchair by any chance? Because I'm seeing a problem with both legs.
Okay. So Cece, let us know. And again, she's on a delay, so it might take a minute or so before she gets back to us. But I'll be watching the comments to let you guys
Mhm.
know.
Okay.
Kathleen says, "Nature's answer: olive leaf, no alcohol. It's wonderful." So there you go. She's confirming it, and she wants to say thank you, Jack, Kelly, Shirley, and John for the show. So she's
Oh, perfect.
yeah. So I will wait for a response from Cece, but in the meantime, I'd like to let folks know that we have our Both Sides Now TV Facebook group, which is our support group, and I'm going to put that up on the screen so you can go to our Both Sides Now TV Facebook page. And then once you click there, you're going to see a button that says visit group. Click that and you can join in the group. And we have like over 600 people, I think, now, which is just great. It's growing really quickly. And we love having you all in there and supporting one another, especially during this time. And we also have Thursday. We'll be doing our group check-in with Kel and myself, and we're going to be talking about the crown chakra on Thursday. And interestingly enough, the crown chakra in Corona means crown. So
Oh,
Wow.
whoa, that's
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah. So it'll be
Wow.
interesting to see what all comes up during that. Yeah. So Cece says you are correct. So there you go. You are correct about her father and the wheelchair and the legs. She's
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Since she's
All right. I
physically-
am picking up a problem with his liver.
I'm not sure what she's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
All
The
right. So
liver, you said?
something. Yeah, the liver. Yeah. All right. And what I am going to tell you, when the time comes, it will be in his sleep, so he will not suffer.
Okay.
I'm not getting the time period. I'm just saying
Right.
that when the time comes, he would.
Be
Okay.
peacefully asleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we have talked before about the veil being thinner during this time and a lot of people leaving. Are you experiencing that with your sessions, Jack?
Oh yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
This year, especially, a lot of people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Jack, do you have any special regimen that you take, any special herbs that you take, or anything?
The only herbs I take actually is I have I take a whole lemon and I have that early in the morning with warm water.
It's the best, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Helps me out with my stomach because I have Crohn's.
Oh,
I
wow.
have Crohn's. Yeah, so it's it's an
Wow.
immune disease. So I have to be very careful with that.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
bet.
hmm
Yeah. I bet you can pick up on Crohn's with people too, I
Oh
would
yeah,
think.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually would tell them it's the digestive system. A problem with that digestive
Mm.
system, and a lot of times,
hmm
a lot of it has to do with milk. A lot has to do with
Mhm.
milk. So when
Yeah.
I'm telling a woman, I hate to tell you something, but you can't eat cheese either.
Yeah.
'Cause women love cheese. I
Oh, I
don't know
love
why.
it.
Jesus
I
is
love
back.
it.
I mean,
Oh,
people
you
say that. I
said
mean,
that.
it's
You,
addictive.
you said that to me, Jack, and I said,
Oh,
well,
did you?
then I
Oh,
guess I'm
okay.
going to suffer a little with some stomach issues because
That's
I
right.
am
That's
not
right.
going to stay away from cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
that's
won't
right.
have it.
That's
I'll
right.
try not to have it as often, but boy, do I
Right.
love cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese, wine, and crackers would be my meal forever if I
Mine
Have you
could.
too.
tried the dairy-free cheese at all, Shirley?
Yeah,
Not the
it's
same,
not the
huh? I
same.
Not the
know.
same.
I know.
Uh,
Definitely not. Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time, but Jack, how do folks get in touch with you if they'd like to have a
Yes,
reading?
yes.
Sure, I'll give you my cell number. Can I do that? Yes, right? Okay, it's 516
Okay.
647
47
3389.
33. I'll read it back to you. 516-647-3389 if you would like to have a reading with Jack.
Right.
Okay.
I'm also in the book, The Gift
Yeah.
hmm
Within Us, and my phone number's in there too.
Wonderful.
And so can they text you on that or do they call you
They
directly?
could text me, they could call me. It is a cell phone, so they could call me, text me,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
All right. I
Okay.
posted that
right.
here in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook, and we'll post that also on our page. So let's see here. And Jack, do you specialize in medical intuitive readings, or is there a specialty that you like to do?
I do everything,
Do it all.
relationships, finance, health, all that.
Mhm. Okay. Great. All righty.
Okay.
Well, I think
So
we're just about to
how
close.
how wonderful, Jack. Thank you so much
You're
Really,
for
Jack,
welcome.
coming
You're
on,
thank
welcome.
you so
spending
much.
Welcome
time and
having me on the show. Mhm.
oh, absolutely. Anytime you
Terrific.
want to come on, we'd love to have you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you
Take care.
everyone for watching. We really appreciate it and have a good night. We'll see you next Monday. Kelly and John will see you on Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, tune in on Thursday. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific. That's what's that? 5 p.m. Central and 6
Mhm.
p.m. Eastern. So check us on Thursday. And
Have a good night.
take care, everyone. And Jack, stand by. We will be back to talk to you in just a moment.
Night.
Okay.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world.